Welcome back to Important Library Stuff, a podcast where library staff share the inside scoop on all the stuff that happens at Prince William Public Libraries. And trust us, it's a lot of stuff. I'm your host, Emily Bickers, media specialist from the Office of Communications and Marketing, and I am joined each episode by fellow staff members and special guests who know a lot more on each episode's topic than I do. Today, I'll be chatting about our Friends of the Library groups with Carol Grace, president of the Chinn Park Regional Library Friends Group.
Hi there.
And Erika Buckva, fiscal manager of our Financial Services Division.
Hey.
What are your 3 favorite books?
Okay, so I'll start. I chose 3 books that made an impact on me. They may not be my favorite, but they made the most impact on me. I started reading very late in life. I never read when I was a kid. This wasn't my thing. My mother was an avid reader. So shortly before she passed away, she gave me a book, Marley and Me. And she wanted me to read it. And I kept telling her, I don't have time. It's about a dog. I just don't have time. And after she passed away, I realized why she wanted me to read it, because it's about life. So that is the book that set me on my reading journey. So that's been probably 15, 20 years ago now that I've become a reader. And it's revolutionized my life. The second book was a Harry Potter series. I have 2 sons. They both grew up reading the Harry Potter books, especially my oldest son. And he would always tell me, Mom, read the book. And I would tell him, I've seen the movie. I don't need to read the book. He goes, no, please promise me you'll read the book. So about 2 years ago, I set off on a journey to read that book. Giving myself 1 year, it only took me 3 months to get them all done. And it opened me up to different genres of books. So I'm a huge YA fan now. I love reading YA books. I'm way too old to read YA books, probably. But I love reading. I love reading YA books. And my third book is The Thursday Night Murder Club. And I don't know if you know anything about that book, but it is a group of senior citizens that live in a retirement home that solve murders. And it's just hilarious to think. I mean, you're not your average senior citizen either. They get into all kinds of strange situations. There's a part in the book where they're trying to do a Zoom call that's absolutely hilarious. And it just opened myself up to that no matter how old you are, you can still have adventures. Mm-hmm. So those are my 3 books.
Thank you.
So I realized recently that one of my favorite books is by Beverly Cleary, and the librarians here get really excited because she was a librarian, and we all loved her books growing up, but I'm in like true finance, no fun fashion. I love her first autobiography. It's called A Girl from Yamhill, and I must have read that book 20 times as a kid, so I know a lot about like pre-Depression farm life in the Pacific Northwest from her. And I can't think of how many times like words from that book pop into my head. Another book I've read a lot is called Doctors by Eric Siegel, and this was a book my mom had on the shelf when I was growing up, a paperback. And it's like one of those like childhood to adulthood like sweeping novels about a group of folks who end up in Harvard Medical School in the 60s. And I reread it during COVID for the first time in a long time and realized it was like comfort reading. It was like, I know these people too, and I must have read that one a lot, and probably like when I was too young to read it, probably. And then a book that changed my life is called The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker. Everyone should read this book. It has changed the way, not just how I work and lead, but how I gather with friends and family, even in like volunteer roles. And even when I show up as a guest or a participant in a meeting, it's really changed how I show up. And I really just can't emphasize enough. Everybody should read it. And it's not just for like super hosts. You're like, oh, this is for people who like being around people. No, it's for everyone to make gatherings, meetings, any kind of time together purposeful and meaningful. So it is definitely in our collection. And she has a great newsletter and podcast interviews if you want to see what I'm talking about.
Awesome. Well, thank you both. All right, so let's dive into it. What are the Friends of the Library groups?
So the definition of the Friends is we're an all-volunteer group, and we're a 501c3 nonprofit, and our mission is to support the library. So all of the funds that we raise go directly to the library to support all the various programs that the library has. That's our number one mission.
From the staff side, we definitely see it as a membership group of community members who really share that common interest in supporting the library. like Carol said, the contributions to the Friends go towards their efforts to provide funding for programs and equipment that the library uses to serve our patrons. I often say that the Friends are the library's biggest fans. So if you're a library fan, you should be a Friends member.
And I think people get confused. They feel like if they have a library card, they're a Friends member. It's a little extra to become a Friends member. The monetary amount is not that big whatsoever, but it takes that little extra step to become a Friends member.
So how do the Friends groups raise funds?
So we here at Chinn, we have a couple of different avenues. We have our quarterly used book sales. The sale spans over 4 days. So we start off on Wednesday. We have our preview night for our members. They get the first people in the doors to start looking at the books. Thursday and Friday, the sale is open up to the public. And then Saturday is our most fun day, which is our $2 bag sale. So what happens there is we're going to give you a brown bag, and however much you can put in a bag for $2, which is probably the best deal in town, to be quite honest with you. We also have what is called our ongoing book sale. What that means is here at Chinn, we have a bookshop. And as you come into the library, if you turn to the left, you'll see our bookshop. And we always have in there books, DVDs, CDs, vintage books, magazines, puzzles, games. We also have what is called, which is unique for Chinn, called Treasures from the Attic. So it is 2 display cases that are filled with unique gift items. And those are pretty much stocked year-round also. And a thing to remember, whenever the library is open, the shop is going to be open.
So like Carol said, most of our Friends groups sell used books that are donated by individuals. Some of our groups host events at branches. Our Bull Run Friends just hosted a maker fair at their location. Some do raffle sales, things like that. Restaurant sponsor nights, kind of your typical nonprofit support or organizational support that we see in this area.
So you mentioned it briefly, but what do those funds help support?
So from Chinn Park, I know there's a couple of different programs that we help support. Some of the children's programs like Story Time, the yoga for kids, some of the special events. I know they had a Bluey party. I think it was this year. It brought in drew in a lot of people. Mm-hmm. They had a teen event, a Taylor Swift party, which was probably I didn't physically see that, but I'm pretty sure there was probably a lot of people there also.
Yeah, over 100.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Oh, that's cool. Imagine that. But anyhow, Make and Take Crafts. We did some support for LitCon, which was in April. And probably my most favorite event is the Petting Zoo, which we have in the Fall Festival, which is, I don't know why it's my favorite, but I love fall, so that just kind of falls into that. So.
Yes, Carol, you mentioned the kind of the highlights. I had some of those on my list too, especially summer reading programs. Our friends are really instrumental in supporting those. You can't not mention the petting zoos. I had them on my list too. But we also have adult programs too, like resume reviews. The Friends donations also support materials for programs like sewing supplies, even like when we're buying pumpkins for people to carve, and equipment, especially for our maker spaces, like 3D printers, Cricut machines, charging carts. Our Montclair Friends actually provided the financial support for the Story area renovation recently. So if you've been to Montclair this summer, you've seen the great changes there, and we could not have done that without the Friends.
Yeah, if you want to see specific programs that the Friends have supported, if you look on our Explorer magazine, each program with an asterisk next to it is supported by the Friends. And you'll just, once you look for it, you're like, wow, all of these are asterisked. So it's just amazing everything we're able to do only with the Friends support. So we have 7 Friends of the Library groups. I'm going to list them briefly. So we have Bull Run, Central, Chinn Park, Haymarket Gainesville, Manassas City, Montclair, and Potomac. But we have 12 library branches and also our mobile library. How are the other branches supported?
So our 5 neighborhood libraries have each been adopted by a Friends group that's associated with a larger branch. And these associations are basically regional because we know that equitable access in all of our branches leads to more residents benefiting from the library. For example, Bull Run supports the initiatives also at Noakesville Library. The Potomac Friends support also the initiatives at Dumfries. And it's been about a year, and it's been really great to see our Friends groups learn more about what's happening in the other branches besides their branch. And I know our neighborhood library staff really appreciate the opportunity to build these relationships because they like having these fans, for their own branch too.
And I know here at Chinn, we support both Lake Ridge and Dale City. But when I visited these libraries and just see the amount that they affect that neighborhood around them, it's been quite amazing, to be quite honest with you. In fact, I've been joining the Lake Ridge Book Club, so that was kind of fun for me, too. So,
oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, Carol, how long have you been volunteering with the Chinn Park Friends group?
I have been volunteering for about 3 years now, so I'm one of the newbies, to be quite honest with you. So my husband and I just recently moved here from California, and one of my goals when I retired was to be part of a friends group. And so when I saw the library here and just kind of fell in love with the vibe of the library and picked up a little form that says, here's what the friends do. I circled I wanted to be on the board. Not even like going to a book sale or anything. Probably it's a crazy option, but anyhow, that's
They were like, yes,
finally.
Exactly, that is what they said, pretty much. Yeah. So that really started me on my journey, so I've only been around for 3 years. But the friends here at Chinn Park have been here for over 30 years, so that's pretty amazing in and of itself. So long line of people that have volunteered and given their time to make this program the success that it has been. So.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you went from not being a big reader at all to, a couple decades later as the president of one of our friends groups.
And I thank my mom for that. So thanks, Mom. So yeah.
I know you mentioned some of them. What have been some of the more memorable programs or projects that Chinn Park Friends have supported?
Well, I just have to say the petting zoo again. So, especially last year, we had 2 baby kangaroos. There was 2 young teenage girls that were volunteering at the book sale that we had at that time, and they were able to come and watch these kangaroos be bottle fed. And they were like just over the moon how excited they were, taking pictures and saying, I'm going to share this with all my friends. They're going to be so jealous that we saw 2 kangaroos being fed.
Very Instagram-worthy program, for sure.
And that was the beauty of it, because then that spreads the word, because saying that, maybe you want to come check out this program yourself. So that, I think, and I just love fall, so that's why I'm partial to that. So.
All right. Let's say someone is interested in joining their local friends group. How would they do it?
So for Chinn, we have membership forms, and those are located inside of the lobby, the shop that we have in the lobby. Fairly simple. You fill out the form. You pay the payment that's associated with that. Currently, our fees are for an individual $5, for a senior $3, and $10 for a family. They can also take the form, send it in, or drop it off at one of the library staff, and they'll be sure that we get that form. And they can also join at any of our members' nights that we have throughout the quarterly sales, or any time that we're here during the quarterly sale. So those are the ways that somebody can join from a Chinn Park perspective.
Awesome. And then if you go to our website, press the hamburger menu. Under About Us, you'll find friends, book sales, and memberships. This is a great page because it lists all the upcoming book sales that the friends groups are facilitating. And at the end of each different friends section, there's apply to become a friend, and then a link to the brochure that you can find at the library or print out online and fill out. So at Chinn Park, what are the expectations for members of the friends group?
From a member's perspective, there's really no time commitment required whatsoever. I mean, becoming a member just allows them to get on our list, to be on our email mailing list. So they'll be able to be made aware of some sales that we have. They'll find out about all of the quarterly sales. Sometimes we have special sales. Every year we have a holiday sale, so they'll find out about that before that's opened up to the public. And it also gives them the opportunity to attend our members-only night. So that gets them the preview of all of the books, first selection of all of the books before it's opened up to the public. But there's really no time commitment required to be a member whatsoever. So. And on that note, also, you don't need to be a member to volunteer. There's no requirement for that. If you want to volunteer, we welcome you with open arms. So.
What kind of volunteer work is there?
Definitely at our quarterly sale. We have carts and carts load of boxes that come up on Tuesday night, where we take all of the boxes that we've stored down here. They're hauled upstairs, they're emptied out, they're put on all of the tables. So that's one volunteer opportunity. The other volunteer opportunities help throughout the sale, helping the customers in the room as they select their books, or chatting with them, or talking to them about them, or helping somebody that can't carry something get that done. And then on Saturday, definitely with our bag sale, because those bags are flying out furiously and people are scribble their names on them and put them over in a corner. So we definitely need help with that too.
Oh, so people are taking out multiple bags.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, multiple bags. I mean, think last time, probably the winner was maybe 16 bags.
Wow.
And I can tell you, people can strategically place a lot of, it's like a little Jenga
Like
puzzle for
Tetris,
these,
yeah.
for these people. It's unbelievable, the amount of stuff that they can shove in there. So, but we're extremely thankful for that. Those are the kind of the volunteers opportunities we have. Occasionally we do have openings on the boards, and that's something we do have our annual meeting coming up.
And you don't have to be a member to donate books.
No, you do not need to be a member. You can be anybody to donate a book. On that, yes, we do take donations of books, magazines, CDs, DVDs, LPs, audiobooks, puzzles, games,
Treasures from the Attic.
treasures from the attic, all of those things. Truly appreciate each donation that we get. The donations are tax deductible. The person donating the items can get a receipt for that item by going to the circulation desk to get a receipt for that. So
It's great to know. What are some other ways they can support the library in general?
obviously volunteering. I would say the other thing is to spread the word. Let people know that you've been to one of our sales and the kind of experience that you've had. Maybe post something or just kind of let your neighbors know, I found out that there's a sale going on. You may want to show up.
You can also give to the Prince William Library Foundation, and they provide system-wide support for programs and those types of resources. So not necessarily branch-specific, but more at a holistic level.
I'll also add that attending library programs is a great way to support the library. Helps encourage librarians to put on more awesome programs and work with the Friends to fund them. I think I can speak for all of the staff at PWPL by sharing how grateful we are for the enduring support offered by our Friends group. Erika, as our fiscal manager, knows the impact of our Friends groups more than anyone. So how important are our Friends groups to supporting the library's mission to bring people, information, and ideas together in a welcoming, inclusive environment?
Well, we really could not do our work without the Friends. In our last fiscal year that ended in June, the Friends collectively contributed over $100,000 for programs and initiative in the library branches that all support our mission. And our staff is really gifted at maximizing what they can do with every dollar. Plus, really the morale boost of having area residents like the Friends who care so much about what's going on in the library, it helps our staff feel supported and energized to really do all they can to fulfill our mission and serve the patrons.
Have either of you ever shopped a Friends of the Library book sale? What have been some of your favorite finds?
Well, I shop at every single one that we have, and I have found a lot of things, unfortunately, or fortunately. Fortunately. But I think my favorite part of when we're thinking about the sales is my favorite part is the people that come each and every time, and we build a relationship with these people. Or you watch like the elderly couple that holds a bag while his wife does shopping, right? Or the homeschooling mom that brings all of her kids and they get so excited to find a book, or a parent that finds a book that they read when they were a kid, and they were able to pass that down to their child. But there's two other really special moments I had. There was a young girl when one of the sales, she came around and gave everybody a sticker. She was like so excited to give everybody a little sticker, and she was just so filled with joy. It was really kind of amazing. And then this other young girl, and I think it was a Matilda book if I remember, but she found this book and she squealed with joy, like, I have been wanting this book for all of my life, she says. And she was just so excited. But the fact that we can offer these books at a lower cost, right? Because books are expensive for people. I mean, I've been spoiled now where when I walk into a bookstore, I'm thinking, oh my goodness gracious. But it's very endearing to know that we can offer that service to somebody where they can get that book that may be special to them at a price that they really can afford at the same time, too. And I think that's probably one of the greatest joys that I get out of this. So.
I really appreciate being able to donate to these efforts. It's very convenient to donate here to the Chinn Park Friends, but it's also that sustainability and green, recycling. You hate to throw things away, but you don't always have the space anymore for a huge personal library, and that appeals to me too. I have some special memories. Our Bull Run is our home branch, and so taking my kids, my two boys, when they were little, and letting them browse the Friends book room there. Little kids always want to buy stuff, even when they go to a place like the library where everything's free. So, it was nice it's a little treat. And I know when I was growing up, books were always, kind of supported as a treat, different from other things. So I remember that little room a lot.
I also wanted to mention that Chinn Park Library has an amazing ongoing book sale space, but every single branch has an ongoing book sale, whether it's a shelf or a bookcase. So whenever you go in, you can ask staff, hey, is there a book sale section? And they will be happy to show you that area. Do you have any parting thoughts or tips?
From my perspective, I just want to thank a few people. I just want to thank all of the board members that we have here at Chinn. I wanted to thank the library staff for all of their support. And a big thank you to all of our volunteers. We have some amazing volunteers that have been doing the sales for years and years, and you don't even have to tell them what to do. They just go and do it. So from somebody like me coordinating the event, that is like heaven, to be quite honest with you. If you've ever coordinated a volunteer event, when people know what they're doing, that's just like gold. And all of the patrons that come, quarter after quarter, or people that show up and support the shop that we have here, extreme thank you to them.
I just want to say, I think in this day and age, there are many of us who support causes that are important to us that we want to see continue to be able to do their work, like in the Patreon kind of model. And as somebody in the finance world, I really see a direct connection between the values of the heart and the spending of the treasure. So if you're listening to this podcast, you obviously really value what libraries are doing in our community and for communities all over the world. So paying a membership fee to the Friends is a great way to turn that appreciation into action and becoming a member. Carol talked about, that's all you have to do. There's just membership levels. You don't necessarily have to give your time. We know also that people of all generations are looking for connection with other humans. So this is another kind of shared interest space where you can connect with people from different backgrounds that care about what you care about, giving you those in-person opportunities. And I just think that being active in the group gives you an opportunity to make a difference in the community. And I know our friends would really love to meet you. So check it out.
It's just an amazing sense of community, I think, like you talked about. Literally, the volunteers that have been here for years, we're all like a little family, right? We come together and share everything that's happened since the last book sale, and everybody just is really, there's that sense of belonging. I think that is really important, especially in this day and age. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. So we love to celebrate our Friends of the Library groups year-round because of the amazing impact they have, but this month is an especially great time as October 20th through 26th is National Friends of the Library Week. A great way to celebrate that week is to join your local friends group, donate books to their sales, or be sure to thank our friends on our social media posts. I will close us out with a quote from the book referenced in the episode title, Frog and Toad Are Friends by Arnold Lobel. Sometimes the simplest things in life bring the greatest joy. Thank you for listening, and join us next month for the next episode of Important Library Stuff.